Hi guys, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to everybody. We're starting in a second, please. I'm trying to share the live stream right now. Please let's like the live session. So we're not streaming live today on TikTok. We'll just do YouTube. It's more better. It's way easier. Please let's keep liking. So we're going to look at what the market is doing, and hopefully we get a good day today because yesterday we basically did not have any trade, but then the market looks promising. If my sound is very low, try to add your volume, something like that. All right, so we have a couple of news events we're going to look at today as the live progresses. So we have a lot of news events on the Euro, GBP, and then we have the US dollar. So we're going to look at the Euro news event, which is at 9:30, meaning in the next 1 hour and 30 minutes, we're definitely going to look at it together. And then for GBP, I don't know, I'll basically not be live. That's 10:30. We're going to still do it. Maybe you do it on your own. And then 2:45, we have flash manufacturing PMI and services PMI for the US dollar. Please, if you can hear me very well, let me see multiple likes, please. All right. I'm sorry if you can't hear me. At some point, please try to maybe add your volume. We did not have that issue yesterday. It was way better. And somehow my voice is kind of a little bit low. I'm having cold, if you can listen. Or if you can get how I'm talking, you know I have cold. But then it's okay. Please, let's just manage. Let's manage, please, at some point. So we're going to go ahead and then we look at the charts together. We're going to look at the charts together, but before we do that, let's say thank you, Jesus, and then we go ahead. So let's say thank you, Jesus. Let's say thank you, Jesus. Our God in heaven, we say thank you. Thank you for today. Thank you, Lord, for your grace upon our lives. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for having us, oh God, this morning to see a new day. What a privilege it is. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for fighting our battles for us. Thank you for always being there for us. We are grateful. We are grateful. Thank you, Jesus. 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 I want to see you write thank you, Jesus, in the comment section. Let's go. Say thank you, Jesus, in the comment section. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Father, we are grateful. Thank you, Jesus, for a new day. You are wonderful. You are worthy to be praised. There's no one like you. Be thou exalted. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. I want us to say that, Lord, please have mercy upon me today. So, Lord Jesus, have mercy. Lord Jesus, have mercy. Our God in heaven, we pray that you have mercy upon us. Have mercy, O God, upon our lives. Have mercy upon our souls. Have mercy upon our spirit. Have mercy upon our loved ones. Have mercy upon our families. Wherever we've sinned and gone short of your glory in our words, thoughts, actions, Father, we pray that may you please not punish us. Look upon us with compassion. Forgive us from our sins. Wash us with your precious blood. Please remove our name from the book of death. Write our name in the book of life. Help us to be children of God. Thank you, Jesus. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. So, Lord, I surrender today into your hands. Father, we surrender, we surrender, we surrender. We say we have no power on our own. We have no strength. Oh God, we pray that may you come and be with us today. May you come and direct us today. May you come and guide us. Lord, our going out and our coming in is preserved in the mighty name of Jesus. Lord, we pray that whatever our hands touch today, it is blessed. It must prosper in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Thank you, King of Glory. Come and take your place in the meeting of today. Take more of us and give us more of you. More of your power, more of your grace, more of your discipline. Come and be the chairperson of this meeting. Come and lead us. Come and guide us. Thank you, Jesus, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen and amen. So please let me see amens in the comment section. Amen, amen, amen. And then we start. Please let's keep liking the live session, please. So as you listening to me, please like the live session so that a lot of other people can join. So let's like the live session. Let's keep liking, you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube handle, please, what are you waiting for? Make sure you subscribe so that the minute I'm live, you're going to get the notification. So like I said, today we have a quite number of fundamentals. Number one is Euro. We have the flash manufacturing PMI and services PMI for Germany at 9:30 a.m., which is red for the event. So we're expecting a movement, like we're expecting some sort of volatility at 9:30. We're going to look at that together because we'll still be live. And then 10:30 a.m., we're going to have the manufacturing PMI and services PMI for the pound. So that's at 10:30, and by that time, our live session must be over. But I believe we must have already tried to analyze to know what we're going to expect. So no need to stress yourself. And then at 2:45 p.m. GMT +1, of course, we're going to have the manufacturing PMI and services PMI for the US dollar. So basically today we have manufacturing PMI, services PMI for Euro, Pound, and the US dollar. So that's what we have for today. And you guys know, with or without fundamentals, whatever it is, the market is going to move. Yes, with or without fundamentals, the market is going to move. So you just have to relax, do your part technically, and then be patient enough to look to wait for the market react. So we're going to start an analysis today with the US dollar. Here on my screen is Euro, but then we're going to start with the US dollar index. We quite did a very good breakdown on dollar yesterday. I don't know whether you followed our live stream, but whatever we said on dollar index basically is just what is happening. Now we had a massive drop yesterday at around noon. midday GMT +1, when Trump said whatever he had to say, and then we had massive sells to the downside. Trust me, at some point, whatever happens in this market is basically not a mistake. Remember, I told you guys we had some sort of failure swing around this zone, and then price was inside. That was a 4H for value gap around this level. So you see how price came directly into that third trend line level, and then it pushed to the downside. So when I saw all of this, I just asked myself, imagine you started selling dollar before this whole movement to the upside, or imagine you were buying dollar because of course dollar is bullish on the higher time frame, dollar is going to go up, dollar is going to go up. Imagine you just went ahead and then started buying. That's SL. You've taken SL on a Monday morning. Most people took SLs yesterday. Either they were buying Euro USD very early, or they were selling Euro USD thinking price is overly bearish and will continue to go down. But if you know a lot, if you know technical analysis and you're patient, you wouldn't have been involved in all of this mess. Are we together? You wouldn't have been in this mess. So we're going to look at what we're going to have today. So yesterday, basically no trade for us. If you have a question, please do well to leave your question in the comment section. I don't want us to just, I don't want to have a very calm comment section with you guys not saying anything. I'm basically not doing any presentation that entails you to keep quiet. So please, at some point, I want to see your comments. I want to also see you say that this is what I'm looking at, this is what I'm looking for. I did not take a trade yesterday, or I took a trade yesterday, this was my experience, and all of that. So this is dollar index. Like I said, we have nothing much to talk about. Let's go back to weekly time frame because our whole analysis hasn't changed. So dollar is bullish and we're expecting price to really push up. I'm really hoping for that movement to come in maybe tomorrow, Wednesday, or today. If there's some sort of volatility, then I'm expecting that to happen either today, New York session. Yes, I'm expecting price to give us what we're looking for. So currently right now, price has mitigated, or price has run liquidity below the previous weekly low. So previous weekly low liquidity has been taken, and at some point a lot of people want to buy, but this previous weekly low liquidity isn't my liquidity, it isn't my targeted liquidity at some point. So my whole focus is not previous weekly low. I don't know whether you're with me. So our focus is not previous weekly low. Our whole focus is this other guy here, and then we take a buy. And you see that, like I said, this level is a very powerful level at some point because it was responsible for the sellers, or for the little accumulation we had in and around the zone. And then later on, we had a breakout. Okay, we had this breakout that gave a change of character above this point. So that is why this area is very important to any trader looking to buy the US dollar index. So our analysis stays the same. If price does not come in here and then we have that confirmation to buy, then we're not having a trade for today or even this week, because there's no way I'm going to focus on price taking out the liquidity below this previous weekly low and then I'm buying after seeing, or with this opening, with this weekly fair value gap opening. So we won't do that. That won't be high probability. And then the minute price takes this, we are going to align bullish. Like, it's going to be a very beautiful swing position. So you dare not miss this movement this week. Trust me, if you miss it, you're going to cry. Yeah, you're going to cry really, really well. You are going to really cry if you miss this movement this week. So I'm hoping price gives us just what we're looking for. Very seamless reaction. Price comes into our key level, gives us what we're looking for, and then we buy. So currently on the daily time frame, you will see that this whole movement is pulled back because you see how the candlesticks are looking like, right? Yeah, so we are in the pullback phase, and of course price is going to take out this liquidity, and it's even going to take out this fair value gap which price abandoned 2 weeks ago. So this is the main point which we're looking for price coming back into that level. So previous daily candle closed a bearish candle, of course. So at some point, we still have sellers in the market, which will keep helping price to complete this pullback phase. So as of now, we have nothing to do than to watch price come back into this point, and then the minute we have this, that's when we even have to take a trade. So nothing changes for the US dollar today. All analysis was basically sent in a Telegram handle. Yeah, analysis sent in a Telegram handle. That's it. So right now here, we already have a trend line build up around this zone. So that's already trend line liquidity price has already engineered above that point. So even though price is moving in search of liquidity, as it is moving, it is also engineering liquidity at some point. So price has already kept this. That's a trend line build up, and we are waiting for price to come back here. Now on the daily time frame, I forgot to mark our previous daily low. So this is our Monday's low, and you know what it is. So most times the lows and the highs of Monday always has liquidity. Okay, so we have liquidity below this point, which price is going to take. We have Monday's low liquidity, and then we have the opening of the weekly for rally gap. So this is the 4H time frame. The 4H candle already closed some 15 minutes back, closes at 8 a.m. our time, and then there was this fair value gap here which price has mitigated. But since we don't counter trend, okay, since we don't counter trend, price will just make its way to this area. There's no need for me to tell you sell dollar right now for price to come into these areas. You guys know me, pips will always be wasted. We analyzed this guy yesterday. We said price was going to sell here. Did we take a sell on dollar? No. Pips must be wasted for you to be a disciplined trader. Pips must be wasted for you to be accountable as a trader. So that's it. So pips will be wasted today again for price to come back into this point. And then when we get now that movement for a buy, then we are all going to take the trade together. And then we now follow the pro trend direction, which will give you more profit than killing yourself in this whole counter trend movement. Okay, so I don't know. Let me send this in a Telegram handle so that those who are not here can easily follow up. So let's see. Second, please. So since price hasn't come to a key level yet, there's no need for us to do time and price, whatever it is. But here on the hourly time frame, all you can already see right now is some sort of accumulation. So price is accumulating. It's trying to create a base. Okay, it's trying to create a base, and then later on it's going to drop, and then later on it's going to rally. So we're going to have some sort of AMD pattern below the zone. 30 minutes time frame, that's the same thing. Very, very easy. So that's what we have on the 30 minutes time frame. So if you have any question, please let me know. This is a US dollar index. If you have any question, let me know. If you have a question, let me know, please. All right, so let's go ahead. So someone says, why didn't you use the breaker block? I don't understand. Someone says, you can't see my screen. I don't know. Check your network. So that's for the US dollar index. Nothing much to talk about. As of now, like I said, you just have to watch, and then we see what price is currently doing. We wait for price to come into a key level. So I'm expecting that whole movement may be by New York session. Okay, so price has to take out Monday's low liquidity, tap into our weekly fair value gap. Then we wait for the contractions. Okay, you need to see buyers come in. Remember, if buyers don't come in, you are not supposed to buy. If buyers don't come in, you are not supposed to buy. Nobody sent you. Nobody sent you. If you don't see buyers coming in, like I said, nobody sent you to buy. So we're going to wait for confirmation. The minute we get the confirmation, then we're going to now take the trade together. Are we good? If yes, let me see your thumbs up in the comment section, please. Let me see your thumbs up in the comment section. If you're okay with the analysis, let me see your thumbs up. Let's go. The breaker block on the daily time frame. I really don't understand what you mean. Please, where is the accumulation for the possible AMD pattern on the 30 minutes time frame? I believe you can see it. And by the contraction, do you mean the bullish engulfing? When price gets into the key level, first thing you need to see is a rejection candle, or what you call contraction candlestick. And later on now you see an engulfing candle. That's all. That's your confirmation, right? You need to see sell pressure deplete, and then you see buy pressure coming. That's all. It's very easy. Super, super easy. Very, very easy. So please, let's keep liking the live session. Let's make sure other people come in. If you can share the live for others to join us. That would be super helpful. All right, so let's go ahead and then we look at Euro USD currently. So this is Euro, and trust me, like I said, if you miss this Euro this week, you will cry. Yes, you will cry. And the tears will be very, very hot. So we really have to be on our seat, and then we need to really watch and then wait for price to give us what we're looking for. Trust me. So we're going to have a very, very much bearish week for the for Euro USD. The moment price hits this fair value gap, which is an institutional reference point that shows you that sellers were dominant in the market for the past 2 weeks. Okay, for the past 2 weeks, we've had massive sell pressure in the market. So it's very normal that price mitigates this level and then we push down. And I told you this is going to be the last mitigation we're going to have, like the last good mitigation we're going to have till price takes out this monthly fair value gap. This is a monthly fair value gap opening. So I believe you already know at 1.1. So price at 1.16. So for price to reach this level, that's like 600 pips. So imagine you get a short position in here, of course with confirmation. You are going to drag price till it takes the monthly fair value gap, approximately 600 pips. So like I said, if you miss this today, you are going to cry. If you miss this today or maybe tomorrow, I don't know when we're going to have this confirmation, but then if you miss the setup, the tears will be very hot, because whoever gets a position this week from here, you are never closing to price takes first TP, which is this. First TP there, that's like 270 pips, no joking. Price will take our sell-side liquidity from there, and then later on, we are just heading straight into the monthly fair value gap. That's a 600 pips projection, meaning at some point, if you use just 0.01, which is the least lot size, you are going to make 61 freaking dollars, $61, meaning even a $10 account can grow. $10 account, you enter 0.02, you're going to make $120 if price hits TP. It's not if, because obviously price will hit TP. And what if you enter 0.05? 0.05, maybe let's say a 40 pips SL, because we're going to take confirmations from the 4H time frame, for example. So 0.05, 40 pips SL, you're willing to lose $20. Okay, and then you hold that 0.05 and forget about it, and then price hits the 600 pips. How much are you going to make? You're going to make over $300. That is what we call growth in Forex. It's not all about, I want to flip $10 to $1,000 today. Hell no. Never. Doesn't work like that. Okay, so I really hope price reacts in a way that we all get a position and then we make money. This is going to be the best thing that will happen to you as a trader this end of month. And this setup is going to carry us for the new month of April. Okay, if we get a confirmation this today or tomorrow, this setup is going to carry us for like the first 2 weeks of April. So it's really, really paramount we work on this. All right, so let's go ahead and then we look at it. So this here is the weekly fair value gap opening, and in that fair value gap on the weekly time frame, we also have a daily fair value gap. So we have like a fair value gap and a fair value gap, but that's not my focus right now, because the minute you start to do refinements, I want to refine, price must come to this particular place, price must come to this particular place, you are going to miss the whole idea. Okay, you might just miss the trade because of too much refinements. So we're going to work with this weekly time frame for value gap opening point, and then we also have our daily high, a previous daily high for Monday, which is this, that acts also as some sort of liquidity to this guy. So we have double liquidity, Monday's high plus previous weekly high. If the weekly fair value gap, if price takes it and then it deems it necessary to come into this level, then we are going to be comfortable, anyone. So all we have to do is just wait, and then we allow price show us what it wants to do. We allow price show us what it wants to do. You don't need to force price. You don't need to tell price where to react. You're nobody. Trust me, you're nobody. So all you have to do is, price, I'm loyal. Show me where you want to react, give me the confirmation, and then I'm going to go with it. So that's what we're going to look for today. So we still have some quite number of pips. We're at 1.1607, and then the fair value gap opening is at 1.1667. So that's 60 pips, and that 60 pips will be wasted. Okay, pips must be wasted, obviously. If you know me, then that's what that's my number one go-to. Pips must always be wasted. So that 60 pips will be wasted today for us to relax and then build momentum for us to get on a good sell position. Okay, so right here, this is what we have. Now, every seller that sold from here, their SLs are basically inside this weekly fair value gap. So of course, there's a liquidity pool in here, which price is going to raid, and then later on we sell. So whoever is selling currently from here, that's madness. Last week we took a sell from here because at some point price was giving us some sort of bearish momentum. We sold from here, price gave us like 80 pips plus, I believe, and then later on it just went up to the upside, which was okay. And then this is what we've been having. So a lot of sellers have been forcing themselves into the market. These are them here the other day, and then currently some of them entered yesterday, which now price is building it up as some sort of accumulation. So right here, there is nothing that will make me sell euro, even if I'm as desperate as what? I will never sell euro. Okay, I will never in my life sell euro. So all of this liquidity which price has kept, all the stop losses of whoever sold from this point, price has to take it. And the moment price takes it out, we're going to wait for a confirmation, and then we're going to sell. First TP, like I said, will be sell side liquidity below our previous weekly low, and that's like 200 pips. So just this movement, if price hits this first TP, you are already very good. Very, very good. Trading is not difficult. What is difficult is keeping to rules. Yes, that's one thing I realized. Keeping to rules is the most difficult thing that every trader faces. But if you can beat your emotions and get to the point where you are not emotional when the market is moving, you are strong. You tell yourself, if price does not come to my key level, I'm not taking a trade. And you believe, and then you don't do anything actually. You don't shake because the market is shaking. Trust me, you have already won the battle when it comes to forex trading. So as of now, a lot of people also still want to sell because, like I said, after price did whatever it had to do yesterday, a lot of people started selling from here. But then we have Monday's high liquidity still standing as a key liquidity point, which price is going to take 30 minutes time frame. Like I said, all of this is build up. That's an accumulation, and we're literally gonna get the manipulation into a key level, and then later on we're going to get the manipulation and then we have the distribution. So because of this, I have to be patient. I've got nothing to do in this market than to watch and wait. Are we together? If yes, let me see your thumbs up. If yes, I want you to write we are together in the comment section, and then we move. Let's go ahead. Let's write that. I want you to say we're together in the comments, and then we move to pound. Il y a quelqu'un qui dit nous sommes ensemble. Alors, wow. Never knew there was a francophone here. We're together, of course. So let's go to pound and then look at what pound says, and then we're good to go. Let's go to pound. So pound basically has same thing. I haven't touched pound since we analyzed yesterday. Let's go back to the daily time frame. We mapped out two key levels on pound, and then this is where price is currently at. So this is what we have. Nothing much has changed from our analysis on pound. Look, I'm gonna be okay, of course. We are very bilingual. Okay, so let's go ahead and then look at pound on the weekly time frame. So every analysis, if you think I haven't sent into the Telegram, that's because nothing has changed from our yesterday's breakdown. So you can just integrate a Telegram handle. Link is in my bio, same thing. And then you go back, scroll to the messages we sent out yesterday, and then you check every single analysis we did. Very, very easy. So let's go. This is pound weekly time frame, and we are also bearish at some point. Told you guys we have this weekly supply, which I wanted price to go there. That was like 2 weeks back, but then it didn't. And then we also have this 2 weeks high, which corresponds this level here, this high. It corresponds to the weekly fair value gap opening on Euro USD. So my target wasn't this one, wasn't our previous weekly high. It was our 2 weeks high, because that level corresponds to the weekly fair value gap opening on Euro. So if price rates it, and then we later on see sell confirmations, we're going to short pound. But then if price takes it and sellers don't come in, then we're going to wait for price to take out this point before we have a sell. Okay, so that's all. Very, very easy. Very, very easy. So these are two major liquidity points, 1 and 2. Let's reflect them on the daily time frame. So daily time frame point of view, this is what we have. If you see how price is choppy at some point in here, you understand that this is just a counter trend move. Someone says YouTube live stream is best. TikTok live stream in 245. We're currently blocked. I don't understand what you're saying, please. I don't understand what you mean. But myself, I prefer YouTube right now. It's very stress-free. All right. So please, let's keep liking, and then we move forward. So right here, these are the two key levels, the two key liquidity points, and this guy here is still in a supply zone. So this supply could act as some sort of resistance to price from coming to this guy up. But then if it does, okay. Remember we have fundamentals today, 10:30. So if the 10:30 event takes out this relatively equal highs currently, and then sellers don't come in, then price might come back to this one before sellers come in. So mark out the two levels and then just be flexible, or just wait and watch and see what price gives you or gives us. Okay, so we have relatively equal high in here, which is a key liquidity point. So we keep watching, and then we also have this. It also opens a daily Ferrari gap, so that's also a key liquidity point, and that's a supply zone. It's a very great supply, perfect one in all. If you have to check like qualities of a good supply, that's really, really perfect. And then that's it. So we have two key liquidity areas. If you've got to use premium discount, you need to use your FIP. You will realize that at some point this guy is in discount. So this other guy is in discount. This one is at OTE. Okay, but then just mark out the levels, whether discount or OTE. This is at 50%, this is at OTE. When if price wants to react from this level, you're going to get the confirmations. If it wants to come to OTE, it will also go for this guy. So let's just relax, let's do nothing than watch. So someone says, I think 254 is country code. Okay, 254 should be East Africa, I believe, something like that. Should be East Africa. So we move to the 4H time frame. We look at what is happening. So 4H time frame, like I said, nothing much. After price rated out previous weekly high, a lot of people wanted to sell, so they're already putting you in. Okay, that's for Kenya. Okay, perfect. I thought as much. So they already wanted to put you in, and some people I know, they have already started selling, not knowing that they are just falling into the trap of these guys. Now we have these key levels around this zone on the 4H time frame. Trust me, I never like to do refinements, because when you start refining, oh, this is the particular area, this is a particular area, you're going to miss the whole point. Mark out the whole zone and then allow price to react wherever it wants to react. At that, it makes life really, really easy. Okay, too much refinements will just lead you into some sort of confusion. Now 4H time frame, same thing. Whoever sold yesterday New York session will be liquidated at some point, because we have that Monday's high, which is this. We have relatively equal highs above this area, and trust me, this guy too is just doing some sort of accumulation. So we've got to be flexible today, allow price come into the area which we want price to come into, and then if we get sellers coming today, then that's good. So if sellers come in today, then I believe today New York session will be or will create the high of the week. Yeah, something like that. It will create the high of the week. So either today or tomorrow, I don't know. Depends on how volatile the market seems to be. If it does all of this today, then Tuesday we make the high of the week, and then we're going to sell Wednesday, Thursday, and then maybe Friday. All depends on what the market wants to achieve. But then we are very loyal to what to price, loyal to our trend. There's no need to counter trend, no need, zero, like there is no need for you to fall or force a buy. If price hits some of these key levels, you're going to see massive sales. So be patient, leave price and wait. Build momentum. Think about what you want to do if the sales coming. That's what you need to think. How am I going to attack price if it sells? Not let me buy now and then sell later on. So this is for USD CHF. Nothing too has changed from our previous analysis. We're going to take it out and then we go back to the weekly time frame. If you have a question, please ask. If you have a question, please ask. Feel free. If you don't ask a question, it feels really boring at some point. But then when you ask a question, it's perfect. We've been streaming for the past 40 minutes. That's nice. Okay, so if there's no question, we're going to look at USD CHF. So USD CHF too is very bullish. Like I said, whoever is looking at this guy CRT here, this CRT might not even be respected at some point, because I don't think price can come back to this area before shooting to the upside. So at some point, I will not even want to counter trend this buy candle. Okay, told you guys we're bullish because price closed above that black candle, which of course the low was protected. So this candle will act as a what? As a as a support to price, and then we're going to take out this high. This high here is the 3 months fair value gap opening. So when you work with when you work with similar pairs, or when you work with pairs which you don't change, we do only dollar pairs here, you already have a lot of understanding. You already know that this high here does this place here opens this position, this. So that's the beauty of working with very, very few pairs and not you being everywhere. Okay. My explanations are very clear, no questions. Okay, if there is no question, then give a contribution. Okay, yeah, contribute. Say something. That's the same thing I'm looking at. This is what I was thinking of. Yeah, it makes the life interesting. Okay, another question. I love your work. Perfect. Thank you. Why don't we look at XAUUSD? One step at a time. Okay, we've not gotten to the point to talk about XAUUSD just yet. So this guy, like I said, this line will act as a support to price, and we're going to have a rebound around the zone, and then we're going to push up. So that CRT you're looking at might fail, and we have price already taken out previous weekly low liquidity, like it has on most dollar pairs, which is not even the main liquidity we're looking at. Now if you see this same line, it stretches back into this level. This here is a daily demand zone where we had some sort of buyers coming into the market, but then price bought without mitigating this other guy. So that's why you see I had these two levels marked, but then I'm hoping to see price react just here and then not here. So this will act as some sort of support to price. So we just have to watch, and then like I said, if there is no confirmation, there is no entry. Nobody sent you to buy. You are not a robot. You are not a robot. That's why if anybody's selling you a robot that this robot is going to make you money, this robot is going to make you money, this robot is going to make you money, let me tell you, they should just sit with their robots and they make all the monies in the world. Yes, they should sit with their robots and make all the monies in the world. There's no need for you to buy the robot if it's actually making money. Robotic trading is a scam. Yes, I will repeat it over and over. It's a scam. Okay? It's a big scam. Whoever is telling you to buy one particular robot and then you're going to make money from it, that's a lie. It's not sustainable. You can make $10 and then it could take out $100, $1,000 from you. If a robot is really, really efficient, then it will never be sold. Trust me. And the way this market is built, there is no robot that will be efficient 24/7. It might be today, but then it will fail tomorrow. And they will start telling you, we're going to build it up in a way that when the market changes, we are going to change the this, we're going to change the that, so that you always make money. That's a fucking lie. Big one. So someone says that, how do you determine the corresponding liquidity on GU for the weekly FVG on EU since G is not around. Okay, just use candlesticks, right? If you know that this is my 2 weeks candle on euro, go back to pound and get back that same 2 weeks candle. That's it. Just match the candlestick. Is this the 2 weeks candle on pound? Is this the 2 weeks candle on euro? So it makes life really easy. USD CHF in weekly can go down. No, we're heading for, we're bullish on USD CHF. This is Monday's low currently, and then this is what we have as demand zone. So we're expecting price to take out Monday's low and then come back to this our line, and then from there we have a buy to the upside. If we do, then great. But then if price comes to this level and then you don't have a buy confirmation, then it's going to hit this other guy. So we'll just be flexible. We watch price, do whatever it has to do. So no need to stress. No need to stress. Why do Dixie candlestick close some hours behind other USD pairs? That's for you to find out. Secret. That's for you to find out. Secret. All right, so this is USD CHF 4H time frame, and you see how this counter trend supply put in supply yesterday, and currently right now this guy is also putting in supply. Now a lot of people want to sell, a lot of people are selling, but I'm not interested to counter trend, you know. So pips will also be wasted for price to get into this key level, and then the moment it gets into that key level, we are going to get a buy confirmation. So everything actually looks really great. 30 minutes time frame. Trust me, all of this is build up, okay? All of this is same accumulation we've been talking about on euro, pound, and this is a present on USD CHF. So you just need to relax and allow price do the work for you. If price takes the previous daily low and then later on it takes this demand zone and then we see buyers come into the market, we are going to buy in line with the higher time frame directional buyers. Very easy, very easy. If all of that happens today, then we're going to have a trade. But then if it doesn't happen, we are also still going to wait, and then tomorrow we get a trade. I always tell you that that you need just one day in the market that price listens to you, okay? You don't need 3 days, you don't need 5 days. If every day the market listens to you, it means you don't have a system, because systems don't reproduce every single day. Trust me, systems don't reproduce every single day. So if your strategy involves you trading every morning, every afternoon, every morning, every afternoon, I'm so sorry to break it to you, that is not a good system, because a good system will not give you trades every day. A system has several criterias, okay? It has conditions, and one of which for me is we don't trade pullbacks. We don't counter trend, not especially on the lower time frame like 4H, daily time frames, and all of that. But I can counter trend on the weekly time frame. I can counter trend on the monthly time frame. Very easy. So if we're good on USD CHF, let me see your comments, and then we move to USD JPY. So if you're good, let me see your comments, and then we move to USD JPY. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and we move. We're going to be streaming more on YouTube than TikTok right now. I will abandon TikTok for everybody, like for others. We're going to come here. How do you get the best confirmation? Is it by candlestick or structure like change of character? Change of character happens because of candlesticks, right? So you're just saying the same thing. We're going to do BTC. Relax. We're going to do BTC. Verily. Okay, someone says we are good. If you're good, let me see you say we're good. If you are with me, no counter trend, let me see you say that. And let's keep liking, please. Okay, so let's go to JPY. So this is JPY. We're talking about JPY yesterday, and I said I'm not a counter trend trader, but then this is JPY, and the JPY, from what we see, JPY might literally sell from where it is currently. And trust me, JPY sold. Do you think I even regret the fact that maybe someone would have said, oh, if I knew I would have sold JPY, if I knew I would have traded JPY? I don't give a damn. Okay? Whatever happens, this was counter trend, and then it's none of my business. None of my business. But then it sold, and the targeted liquidity to be taken is the weekly fair value gap opening. We spoke about this. That was yesterday. And then I told you guys that was what was going to happen. But I will not counter trend JPY because it has an all-time high liquidity, which price is basically going to take. And if sellers come in, it's just for a short-term pullback into a what? Into a weekly fair value gap. This is it. Let me show you on the weekly time frame. So this is the area on the weekly time frame here. So JPY hasn't rated previous weekly low. Most of the dollar pairs have rated previous weekly low. DXY has taken previous weekly low. USD CHF has taken previous weekly low, but JPY hasn't taken previous weekly low. Now we're expecting JPY to come into this weekly fair value gap. Mitigates it. It's in confluence with this demand zone, or a breaker. Of course, it was a supply that turned into a demand, so that's a breaker point there. And then there's also another fair value gap below that, guy. So we have one fair value gap, and then we have the second one below. So price could either take this one, and then it takes this other one. Like I said, both of them are inside this breaker level on the weekly time frame. So whichever one price is good with reacting from, it should feel free and then react from it. Meaning if price wants to react from the first one, it should. If it wants to react from the second one, it also has the capacity. It should just do whatever it wants to do. Okay? It should do whatever it wants to do. So daily time frame, I've got no business with USD JPY. We have a run liquidity above Friday's high, and then Friday's low is still standing. So that's like CRT. And then when a lot of people see this, trust me, you guys are going to sell. I know some of you sold yesterday, but then it's on you. It's none of my business. That's your trading career. It's on you. Okay, good fair value gap mitigation plus supply zone. And then right now you have CRT. What do you have here? You have a fair value gap opening, which if price can react from, put in more sellers, you are going to take out the CRT low on the daily time frame. But like I said, I'm still not interested. So we are going to allow JPY fall into the weekly fair value gaps. And then the minute it does that, we are now going to get a what? We're going to get a buy confirmation. Very easy. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go ahead to, let's check on XAUUSD right now. So as of now, UJ will keep pushing down, and it's your choice to want to counter trend or not. Whatever experience you have when you counter trend, whether profit or SL, is basically on you. There's no way I could, or I can change some of you, because you will never change. No matter how I say never counter trend, you're still going to counter trend. So there's no need to even kill myself. Is there valid and invalid FEG? All FEGs are valid till price gets to the FEGs. Okay, The only time an FVG becomes invalid is when price gets there and then it fails to do its job. So all of these fair value gaps are bullish fair value gaps where buyers have to come in. Okay, so if price comes into that level and then buyers fail to come in, it makes it invalid. And then if it comes here, it also fails to put in buyers, then it's also an invalid fair value gap. So that's it. So long as price hasn't come there, you can't say it's invalid. That's it. You can't say it's invalid. So till price gets there, before you will know whether it is invalid or it is valid. Yeah. So give me a minute. If you have a question, make sure you ask. So I'm trying to waste some time because I want us to look at the news event at 9:30 together, and it's going to be out in the next 30 minutes or 35 minutes or so. I want us to look at it together. Just give me a second. My network is kind of slow for reasons I don't even know. My goodness. If you have two or more fair value gaps, which one do you consider? You mark all of them and then you allow price to consider that which it wants. It's very easy. Now, most of these kind of questions you guys ask can cause a lot of mentors to say wrong things. You get the point? Because at some point they will want to tell you that this is this to make them feel like they know everything. When you have multiple key levels along a particular dealing range, allow price to do the work for you. Allow price to do the work for you. All you have to do is sit tight and then allow price move. If price wants to go for this other one, it will go. You will see the confirmation. If it does wants to go for another one, you're also still going to get a confirmation. What the heck is happening? You're going to get a confirmation, so you just have to relax. One second, please. I don't know why my network is messing up. So let's look at XAUUSD. So XAUUSD has been doing nothing much since yesterday. We go back to weekly time frame. Told you we had a long sell position on XAUUSD, which finally took TP. That was like yesterday, Monday. And most time when you have price rushing for TP early morning, a lot is basically going to happen. Told you we need to see how price closes, our daily candle close, for us to know what to expect for the next day. Okay, so right here we have the daily time frame, perfect mitigation, sell from there, and then we also had this fair value gap opening, perfect mitigation, massive sells. All right, so currently I wanted price to close some sort of break off structure below this line, but That's not what is given. It's giving massive contractions from below. But then these contractions here, if you think about it at some point, do they mean to say that price could rise to maybe some of these key levels like this? That's a fair value gap, that's a fair value gap, and all of that. Now, these are the two main fair value gap openings around here. We also have previous daily high, though there's no fair value gap, but then that's a liquidity point. You should never take them for granted. You should never take them for granted. That's previous daily high, then that is a fair value gap opening. This is another one. So these areas, these three areas I've marked, has the possibility to put in sellers. Now, if I were you on XAUUSD, I will not still buy XAUUSD because the dominant side of the market is sales. Okay, sales are in the market. So literally, if price takes this, sellers might come in. If price takes this, sellers might come in. If price takes this, sellers are coming. So since sales are dominant, it's best to sell than buy, even though price closed some sort of contraction candle. Now let's try to fall back into the 4-inch time frame and then see what we have. So this here is the 4-inch time frame, and we had some sort of demand zone from here that put in buyers in here, and then it acted as a support to price severally. Even the last time price revisited this zone, what happened? Buyers entered from there, and then later on we had like a lot of strong sales to the downside that did what? That broke this level. So that zone is a break and retest level. Like I said, sellers can come in at any point in this market. Yes. So then for you to buy gold, I strongly suggest you sell gold. I'm going to take out these other key liquidity zones. We are going to work with that which is closer to price action for the moment. So this is what we have. Now, this is our daily high liquidity, Monday's high, of course. So if price takes out that Monday's high liquidity and you see sellers come in, then that is an opportunity to sell XAUUSD from this break and retest zone. We also have a perfect mitigation from here. There was a fair value gap here. Price has mitigated it. So at some point, we already have a balanced price range around that zone. So that's it. Very easy. So if you're an XAUUSD trader, let me see your comments in the chat box. So what are you looking to trade? Are you looking to buy gold? Are you looking to sell gold? What's your directional bias? I always respect every gold trader because it is not even easy to be a gold trader. You need to be very, very strong, like emotionally, psychologically. You have to be very strong to be a gold trader. So you say Dixie Weekly shows a charge and we are basically waiting for the retest to buy. Exactly. With this clear structure, the confirmation when it comes gives us high probability, high confidence, less. Yeah, exactly. So if you're a gold trader, what's your point of view for today? I'm looking to sell gold from that key level which I've marked. Perfect break and retest, but then it needs a touch of liquidity. I already have a sell set up on the 30 minutes. Okay, we're going to go to the 30 minutes and then we look at it together. Someone says selling already. Dangerous. I think it's dangerous, but then we're going to look at it together. So let's go to this. Now, like I said, I'm always very careful with Mondays because Mondays highs and Mondays low, they always carry a significant amount of liquidity. That's why you see I've marked it. Now, you can call this CRT on XAUUSD. That's around the liquidity above that 4-inch candle, and then this is the high. And that's why sellers try to come in here. That was yesterday New York session at some point. But then I feel like all of that's some sort of inducement. And I see price coming back, taking them out, and then taking out this Monday's high, like I said. And then we now have like sells to the downside. That's my best analysis. And then if price takes this level and then sellers don't come in, then we might be going for some sort of deep mitigation. It means that price did a fake out and not a breakout from this uh support, right? It means it did a fake out and not a breakout. If it's a breakout, then it will give us the break and retest like we want. But then if it's a fake out, then buyers will come in continually. So as of now, since you don't know, you just have to be patient enough. So someone says waiting for sales. Okay, you say from yesterday for a CRT. That's what I'm saying, that at some point I feel like the CRT is going to be taken out. Yeah, like all of you guys that sold yesterday because of that CRT, you're going to be liquidated at some point, not because you were wrong, but because there's some sort of liquidity price has to take. It might and it might not happen. Now on this early time frame, if price rejects to go for this daily high liquidity, then we might have a break and close below this. If we have a break and close below this, then we now will have a more better sell. Okay, then we're going to go in for a sell continuation. If not, then I just stand on my point that price is going to go above this level before pushing to the downside. Are we good? So someone says they already had a 30-minute setup. So what is your 30-minute setup saying? You guys should talk, please. So we have like 25 minutes more for before the news event on Euro. So I don't know where someone says they're already selling right now. I don't know which or what candlestick is making you to sell gold right now. But then, like I said, every gold trader is king. Do what you think is necessary for you. But then this is what I am seeing. If sellers have to come in more for the 4HCRT to be really, really valid and all of that, then we'll get a break and close below these on the early time frame. But if not, we're going to have a run on liquidity above the zone, and then if sellers come in fair enough, we are going to sell. If price takes this high and then sellers don't come in, sellers will not come in. Your $10 account will not put in sellers. Your $100 account will not put in sellers. Very easy. Please, this is 1H minus 30 minutes. Is there a great difference between 30 minutes and 1 hour? No. This is 30 minutes. It's even looking more like AMD, like I've been saying. AMD is cooking on most of these dollar pairs, okay? So Euro has same thing, Pound has same thing, all of them necessarily. And if price has to do this, then we are going to move in line with Euro USD. So as gold will sell, Euro will sell, Pound will sell, and dollar will buy. All of this to me is accumulation. Price is going to run liquidity. And if sellers come in, then we are going to sell. Remember, you need to see the sellers coming before you enter. If not, then you're joking. You're joking with your account. You're joking with whatever thing you're trading with. Yesterday, you stressed to never buy when the price is high. Gold is a sell. All you need is patience. Exactly the point. So I don't even know why someone wants to buy. We are just going to mark out our sell key levels, and then we wait for price on these sell key levels. And then if sellers come in, fair enough. If they don't come in, nobody sent you. On the 30 minutes, I see that there is a trend line liquidity to be taken before tapping my zone before the high you have marked. This is trend line liquidity, of course. I just marked it in the box, but then all of this is trend line build up, and it is already constituting a lot of liquidity. That's why price is going to take it out. I'm marking this high here because it's my daily high. I don't joke with my time-based liquidities, if you know. The analysis you shared as well for the daily FVG mitigation around 5,200 price level, even with 0.01. Those who took it this mass, yes, exactly. Exactly. Those who took it made lots of money. So at some point, gold is for people who are so strong emotionally, psychologically. It's not for babies. Because even your SL with 0.01 is not funny. Just the SL with 0.01 is not funny. So that's for gold. This is my point of view. If price takes it out, sellers come in, then we'll be working in line with uh with all the other dollar pairs. And this is my guy for this is what I was looking at for BTC yesterday. Wrong SL placement above that point. So I was looking to get a confirmation for a sell. Let me check 13. That was okay. I was looking for a confirmation to sell here at some point after price mitigated this daily fair value gap opening, and so we had some sort of break and close below this point here that put in sellers SL above this high. Let's go back, check out the analysis and see whether this could revalidate for an entry position. Yeah, but it doesn't really look good at all. Now let's go back to this area on the daily time frame, BTC USD. So BTC USD, we already spoke about it. Price had mitigated a weekly fair value gap opening, though we have a monthly fair value gap still above us, which price might as well as it might not take it. And the way bullish pressure coming into the market, it feels like price might want to go for the fair value gap, which is around this zone here. So if, like we said, price mitigated the daily fair value gap. Price mitigated the daily fair value gap yesterday. Oh goodness, what happened? Okay, so the best confirmations we could get will come nearly from the 4H time frame. So this is the area that mitigated the daily fair value gap check. And then now we have some sort of buyers coming in. We have CRT, of course. That's the high being rated. And then this is the low of the candle. That's one thing we also noted. But right now, before we will want to ever look for a sell on BTC USD, we will need to get a break and close below this level. Okay, if we don't get a break and close below this, in the name of God, right now, there is no way we should even try to look for a sell on BTC USD. Never. I don't know. Who is on BTC USD? Who is on BTC USD? If you're a BTC USD trader, let me see your hand up. So that's the only confirmation that will necessarily put us in for BTC USD. Now, the other lower time frame confirmation we got, though when price mitigated the zone, I love the kind of sell pressure that came into the market from this level. That's why you saw my projection. And the whole of this point here is an that's an early supply zone. And currently, this very small inducement has been taken out. But I can't tell you to sell right now because the previous 4H candle already closed a bullish engulfing candle. You've been on the trade since yesterday, huh? Only God can save you as of now, trust me. Because, like I said, this candle, the previous 4H candle already closed a bullish engulfing candle. So the only thing right now that can make you sell or make other people sell or make you add another position to sell is a bearish engulfing candle below this guy. That's it. If not, then you're cooked at some point. Daily fair value gap mitigation, 4HCRT, all check, but then we don't have a very strong confirmation. This was a good one yesterday, like I said. SL above that point, price is still in the supply. Price is still in the supply, but things don't look really well. Yes, things don't really look well at some point right now. But then if price gets to sit below this very strong bullish candle that push price to the upside, SL basically is previous daily high, yesterday's high. That's it. And then if we get that movement, we are going to sell BTCUSD. First TP will be previous daily low or a CRT low, and then later on we're going to target all the sell side liquidity price has kept. There's a lot of liquidity on BTCUSD. It's going to be a very long ride only if price gives the confirmation. But then if price does not give that confirmation, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. If price does not give this confirmation, you might likely pick an SL. I marked there too. When I saw the choppy price action, I left it exactly the point. But then you don't have to give up, especially a Marvin that says is in the position. It's not to give up at some point. If sellers come in from here, we get a bearish engulfing candle below this guy, then you're good to go, especially if we have that bearish engulfing candle on the 4H time frame. Now you look at this 30 minutes. Like I said, if you want to do refinements, which I hate, then you know that this is the exact supply which price has reacted on. That's the exact supply zone. Let me take out this. So that was the run on liquidity that helped price mitigate the daily fair value gap. And then that was like a change of character on the 15, that's the 30 minutes time frame there. And then that's the exact supply zone. And then you see right now, what has price done? Price has rated liquidity, internal range liquidity, and then that's redefined the supply. So right here, sellers are already coming in. But then I am not a really lower time frame trader. This is the 15 minutes, perfect 15 minute setup. Perfect 15 minute setup. Now there's someone who enter a trade the moment price closes below this area, and they will use this 15 minutes as confirmation. Price breaks below this point, they are already getting in on a trade. But it's been really long. I use 15-minute time frames as confirmations, especially if the 4H time frame is against this 15 minutes outlook. The 4H candle which just closed, like I said, it closed as a bullish engulfing candle. So even if price closes below this point, the 15 minutes will not have a lot to say when you look at the 4H. But then the 15 minutes can add up to the 4H time frame. So if you're a risk taker, okay. But then if you're a patient trader, wait for the 4H to close in the next 4 hours. Big SL, of course. If you don't want to trade, if you don't like SL, do not even trade BTC USD and gold. It gives a lot of money, but the SL ain't friendly. SL is not friendly, but then it can give you a lot of money. So choose wisely. That's all I can say. Choose wisely. So if you have a question, please ask. If you have a question, please ask. If you have a question, please ask. No, your $50 can. It can. It's not that bad. From this 15-minute entry here, the SL will be like 90 pips for 0.01. So it can. But then that's a 15-minute entry. On the 1H, the higher the time frame, the higher the SL and confirmation. But then the stronger the probability of it holding. If price closes below this on the early time frame, is way stronger than that 15 minutes. So there are a lot of people who like sniper entries, but the probability that your sniper works is way lower. That's why at some point I don't do sniper entries. I really just wait for my higher time frame confirmation, and then I risk accordingly. Right? I risk accordingly. I don't do me small lower time frame confirmations. But then BTC USD is basically like the sell pressure coming in is great. Price just has to maintain that stamina, and that's it. Especially if the 4H closes. If the 4H closes like this, then that's a massive win for whoever wants to sell BTC USD. So I believe we're done with all of this. Euro is not doing anything much. I really hate when price is almost at my key level and then is misbehaving. Yes, I really hate it. Yeah, it's best to wait for the 4H. If you have learned the hard way, then it's best to wait for the 4H. So Euro right now is inducing a lot of people to sell. Ask yourself the question, will I really sell price right now, or am I going to wait? Now, sometimes this whole movement will make you FOMO. Yeah, you feel like, I cannot miss this trade. See the trade potential. See how money will be made in the market. I can't miss it. I used to be like that. Until I realized that you could still analyze like we have currently, and then you end the week by not taking a trade because price is going to react from where it is right now, and then it sells. It won't come to your POI. You also have to make peace with that. It's not always price will do come to your key level, but then I'm just begging price to react well this week, and then let it get to our POI, and then let's take the trade. That's just what I'm doing. So 10 minutes to that fundamental. In 10 minutes, it's going to be released. We're going to look at it, and then we make our conclusions. So we've been here for 1 hour and 23 minutes. Please, there's no sound. I don't know, maybe your network. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, please comment. If you can hear me, please comment. Someone says that, do you make your entry strictly on 4H? Even on Euro USD right here, if I wanted to take a trade today, I will look for a 4H entry. For example, if price tells me that, oh, I want to sell, I don't want to go to this high, I don't want to mitigate, I will tell price to close bearish below this. Meaning this is going to be my 4H confirmation. Now, your 4H is the best intraday time frame that can show you what the market or your institutions are doing. So that is why in 10 trades, if you pick all your 10 confirmations from the 4H time frame, you might not hit SL. You might not hit SL at all. Or even if you want, sometimes you will see money first before you see maybe BE. Or, yeah, there are times when you're going to hit SL. But then in those 10 trades, you're going to make money like 8 times. So that's why the 4H is just the most preferable to me. And over a period of time, which I've been using the 4H time frame, I've not had a lot of stress. Now, when I take a trade from the 4H time frame, when price has met all my criteria, all I want price to do this, it has done. I want price to do this, it has done. When I get that confirmation on the 4H, I take the trade and I can sleep well. I can sleep, I can relax. Why? Because I know that if price, for example, mitigates this fair value gap and then gives me a 4H bearish confirmation, I swear, I can take that trade and sleep because I know that price will react. It's very difficult for price to give you a 4H confirmation and then it violates it. But then I've seen cases where it happens, but then it's not always. Price action these days are not really pricing. All depends what you're looking for. So it all depends what you're looking for. Right now, sellers are coming into the market. If you ask me for which reason, I will not even know because it's really funny. Really, really funny. Asia low, Asia high. London session has rated Asia high partially, but then that's nothing to me. Next 5 minutes, we see what's going to happen on the euro. Let's go to pound. Let's see what's happening with pound. You see, pound 2 is kind of selling. Asia high has been raided, and sellers are coming in from this supply. Now, with this supply, that's the question we are going to watch. We are going to see. And I really don't believe that price will really come close to its liquidity points and then it's going to backfire. I don't know. But then it happens. Let's go to dollar index. So this is dollar index. Asia high, Asia low. Asia low rated. And then this is what price is currently doing. This is Monday's low liquidity. And then this is our weekly liquidity. So I don't know why price will come so close. And then it's just doing its own thing. That's how we did it 2 weeks ago. And we never took a trade. But then I did not die. I swear it, I did not die and I'm still alive and it's moving. So even if it happens this week, still, I will not still die. We keep watching. Okay, that I've learned to use 4H confirmation the hard way is the best. Exactly. Now, there are many people who wouldn't like it because they feel like the SL will be high, but I know the SL will be slightly higher than getting a trade on the 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Yes, but then your accuracy will be so high. Meaning, even if I'm risking 40 pips to sell Euro USD, the probability that I will take SL will be very minimal. But then if I'm on the 15 minutes time frame and I'm risking 15 pips, the risk that I might take SL is very high. That's the difference. That's the difference. So just do what works for you, but then 4H is best. Please, let's keep liking. Let's share the live session. Let's keep liking. Let's keep liking, please. So 3 minutes more, and then we see what happens to Euro. Will be a swing trader after getting my 10K from Forex. I don't understand. Swing trading is the best. Whoever says scalping makes money, scalping makes money, I don't understand. 4H confirmation on gold is not for small accounts. Now, you trade gold differently when it comes to 4H confirmations. 4H confirmations just tell you who is dominant in the market when it comes to gold, but then you move to the lower time frame to get in on continuation trades. Okay, you don't trade gold from the 4H. Is the color, the candle color important when it gets to key level? Of course. Imagine price hits a key level. Okay, we're looking to buy dollar when it takes the weekly fair value gap, and then you see price hit that weekly fair value gap, and then you keep seeing sell candlesticks. Are you going to buy? So think about it. Yeah, the SL is high, but the probability for it to hold is great. Exactly. So trading is probabilities. Every setup has probabilities. So you always need to ask yourself, what's the probability for euro to sell currently? If I take this trade based on my setup and confirmation, what is the probability that this is going to hold? If you can answer that question, then you're good. So let's go back to Euro USD. Though euro is just the same as the US dollar index, whatever happens to euro reflects exactly the same on the US dollar index, like the same, basically, except for days we have some sort of SMT divergences. But then, if you're trading euro, then your best friend should be the dollar index. Someone says the volatility on gold is way higher than regular pairs. Yeah, so 4H confirm. I'm telling you, 4H confirmation on XAUUSD just tells you who is dominant in the market. And then when you already know that sellers are dominant or buyers are dominant, you step down to your lower time frame, like maybe your 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you get in on a continuation. That's how it works. That's how it works. So let's see what happens. It's 9:30. The market isn't doing anything much. The market is not doing anything. It's crazy. I always say that with or without fundamentals, if price wants to move, it will move. It doesn't need fundamentals to move. It doesn't. If you just understand like that, you have peace of mind. So the PMI thing, one is positive for euro, one is negative. So the manufacturing PMI is positive for euro, services PMI negative. So that's why we have some sort of balance. We have some sort of balance currently. Price basically not doing anything. So we have done a total breakdown on whatever is happening on dollar index. So for dollar, we wait for our buy, and then for euro, we wait for price. If price intends to pull up, mitigate our fair value gap on the weekly time frame, we're going to look for a sell accordingly. So it's easy. If it doesn't want, then we're going to just keep watching. What about pound? Pound 2 is just there. We have daily high and our 2 weeks high still standing, but then sellers are just doing like they want to come in. We're also going to keep watching. USD CHF, we're going to have sells before buys. So if sellers keep coming in, then why not? We are going to have a lot of if sellers keep coming in, then sales will come in, take out the appropriate liquidity, and then that's it. So in the next 30 minutes, these 4H candles will close, okay? Every 4H candle on Euro, GBP USD, and USD CHF will close. So it's also paramount you wait and see how the candle closes. Though as of now, we really have nothing much to do because price isn't also doing anything. So that's it for today. XAUUSD 2, like I said, either price goes up, takes out our daily high liquidity before we sell, or we're going to have sellers coming from the 1H time frame after we get a break of structure below this point. If not, allow price to take out the daily high liquidity. And now priority trade for today is BTC USD when price gives us a 4H confirmation. If we get a 4H confirmation on BTC USD, that is a great one for us to sell BTC USD. That is the 1H time frame. It's very important you wait for 1H for 4H confirmation. Now this is 30 minutes. 30 minutes not strong enough. 15 minutes not strong enough. So if you are careful, or if you're a patient trader, wait for your 4H to close as a bearish engulfing candle, and then later on you can now go in for a sell. So with that, we end for today. God will help us to be patient. There's no way, never in my life will I sell Euro USD right now. Whatever, like, even if they keep selling, I will not sell. As for dollar right now, I will never buy dollar index if dollar does not raid our previous daily low plus our weekly FVG opening. Price won't come this close and then it starts to misbehave. I will never fall for their trap. So you guys were good. If you enjoyed today's session, I want to see your comments. I want to see your likes, and then we end our live session, please. If you have a question, you can also ask. So if you're okay for today, let me see your comments, and then we end our live session. We've been here for 1 hour and 30 plus minutes. Ethereum is the same as BTC. Do the correlation. It was a good one. It's more educative than just a breakdown. You're welcome. Thank you for the good work. You're welcome. You guys are welcome. Kelly, if you were to sell now, what will you look for to enter? I will look for a bearish engulfing candle on the 4H time frame, and price might literally never give you. That's why I love the 4H time frame, because when you do that, it's difficult for price to induce you on the 4H, but then it's very easy for price to induce you on the hourly or on the 30 minutes time frame. Very insightful. Everything straight to the point. God bless you. God bless you too. So we're coming back tomorrow, 8 a.m. I think that's 7 a.m. I can't even handle the 7 a.m. I told you guys we're going to do 7 a.m., but I swear it, I don't have that energy to wake up every morning at 7 a.m. So we're going to keep doing 8 a.m. by the grace of God. These sessions are very helpful. Stay grounded and avoid FOMO. You're welcome. Thank you for today. You always make me calm. Exactly. Myself, I do this as therapy. So it also makes me calm. Enjoy today's session. Thank you so much. God bless you abundantly. God bless you too. Thank you. God bless. God bless you guys. So you all have a good day. Remember, we have the next fundamental at 10:30, meaning in the next 1 hour, you're going to have the fundamentals for pound. And then at 2:45, you're going to have that for that for the US dollar. So as of now, we have nothing much to say than just to allow price move. Okay, let's leave price to move, and then we watch. So see you soon, guys. The recording of this session will be available. That's why YouTube is really great. I've been wasting my energy on TikTok at some point. So with this one, I can always repost for everybody, like those who did not watch to watch, and like that. So you guys have a nice day. See you soon. God bless everybody.